Sellers are losing big right now. I'm talking $100,000, $200,000, and even $500,000 of their equity gone. Like this rain, there are factors at play outside of everyone's control. Factors that are sending shockwaves through the real estate market. I've been selling homes in this market for years, and I've never seen sellers this frustrated. Homes used to sell in days. Now sellers are sitting for months, slashing prices just to get offers. And this isn't just a fluke, this is happening everywhere. If this continues, we could see a whole new level of property prices that we haven't seen since 2020. So let's get into exactly what is happening and how this is affecting the market. You only get one chance to buy or sell your next home. Let's get it right. Just recently, the British Columbia Real Estate Association sent out an email about what is happening with sales all across the province of BC. Before I show you what that email said, I need to let you know that as of October of 2024 and moving into 2025, sales were ramping up month over month, and it was looking like we were going to have a really positive spring market in terms of homes just transacting. The month of January felt all right, like sales were still really great, but by the time we entered February, home sales fell completely off a cliff. And I'm not talking by just a little bit, I am talking a monstrous dive down to the bottom. In fact, sales all across the province were down 9.7% from February 2024. And if you remember February 2024 or 2024 in general, it wasn't much of a year to get excited about. The market was crazy slow in 2024 as well, and right now it's even worse. In fact, according to the British Columbia Real Estate Association, BC MLS unit sales were 28% lower than the 10-year February average. 28% lower. This obviously has a massive effect on sellers attracting buyers to buy their properties, and they need to do everything in their power to woo the buyer to come check them out, whether that is offering incentives, doing massive upgrades to their properties, or doing monstrous adjustments to their purchase price. So why is this all happening, and what was the big change that made this all come to fruition? Well, to begin with, interest rates are still a challenge. Even with the recent interest rate cut down to 2.75% for the overnight lending rate from the Bank of Canada, and this has all just happened at the time of filming this video, interest rates are still a challenge for people. It's still very difficult to qualify for properties, also for the very reason that people still have to qualify for their mortgages using the stress test. If you're not familiar with what that stress test is, that means no matter what the posted rate is, you have to qualify to make payments on the interest payments for your mortgage at 2% higher than what the posted rate or what the bank is actually offering you. This just cuts right into not only your affordability, but generally speaking, makes qualification for a mortgage much higher, and qualifying for a mortgage generally is already incredibly difficult. The next challenge is just complete economic uncertainty. Not only uncertainty in Canada, but also uncertainty with what's going on to our good friends and neighbors down the south. We have a freshly minted new prime minister in Canada who is just getting their toes wet in terms of running the country, and they're coming into a very difficult situation because of the most recent US tariff threats. There is a lot of conversation and a lot of media coming out about what is happening with tariffs. In fact, so much so that it's making it difficult to keep up because it seemingly changes hour by hour. We never quite know what we're in for in terms of what they're announcing or what actually might stick. The Bank of Canada quoted that these tariffs would be absolutely devastating for British Columbia. Tens of thousands of people could lose their jobs and tens of billions of dollars could be wiped from the BC economy. Markets, regardless of what they are, whether it's stock markets or housing markets, they do not like uncertainty. Hence why shortly after the US president got into power and started throwing some tantrums, the stock market took an absolute nosedive, and home sales across not only British Columbia, but also in Canada did the same. And this all leads us to our third reason why home sales are struggling so much, and that's because sellers are getting desperate to sell. You know, fundamentally, there's really two types of home sellers that are out there. There are those that are interested in selling their home for whatever reason, but there's also those that are committed to selling their home. They will do the things they need to do and put themselves in the position to effect a sale of their property. Homes are sitting on the market longer than ever, and sellers are starting to panic. Naturally, the longer a home sits on the market, typically the lower the offers that seller gets. But when a home sits on the market and sellers aren't seeing the results that they're looking for, those that are committed to selling the property make the moves to actually effect a sale. And oftentimes, this doesn't involve upgrading their home or offering incentives to the buyer. It simply means making massive adjustments to their asking price to try and woo buyers in to come make an offer. Homebuyers who understand the seller psychology can get steep discounts right now just by knowing when to make their move on a property. Now, of course, we don't know how long this is going to last. We don't know where interest rates might end up. We don't know what's going to happen with the new Prime Minister of Canada, and certainly we do not know what's going to happen, at least long term, with the US tariff threats on Canada. What we do know is it changes every day, and regardless of what happens, there is certainly going to be short-term and long-term effects to our market. We will get out of this, but it's not going to happen right away, which means there's some great opportunities for those who have been sitting on the sidelines considering buying a home to make their move. Homebuyers could be looking at getting homes at prices that haven't been seen since the 2020 or 2021 markets. There's going to be lots of creative incentives out there on homes that people are interested in buying, massive six-figure price cuts, and generally just a huge opportunity to get into the market while all this chaos and uncertainty exists. So I've got a few tips for anybody who's considering buying a home right now, but also a few tips for anybody who is selling a home and they are committed to getting it done. My tip for home buyers: this isn't going to last forever, and you never know when your opportunity might run out. I'm not saying to run out today and necessarily buy a home if it doesn't fit your plans, or maybe you have concerns about job security. I get all that. But when the market changes, especially when it is at an extreme, which we're certainly seeing it at right now, things can change, and they change typically very quickly. So don't sit on your hands and wait too long while this opportunity exists. And I'll also remind you that the good homes, regardless of what the market is doing, if they're priced right, they show well, and they look great, all for a great value, they always move first and they always move fast. My tips for home sellers: you must remain competitive in your sale price if you're actually committed to selling your home in these market conditions. Every single thing you do matters. The way that you present your home, the way your home is cleaned when people view it, the keep and care of your home, and of course your asking price. And even the professional you hire to sell your home needs to be top notch and the best at what they do to help you effect a sale. Who you hire to help you sell your most likely valuable asset matters, and not everybody is created equal. So make sure you do your due diligence and homework on the professional you hire to help you. And of course, I would add, just like I added for our buyer friends, that this will not last forever. So don't panic if you don't need to sell right now. Listen, if you found this video helpful, give it a like or leave us a comment below and let us know what you think. And that way, that'll help the YouTube algorithm, help other people just like you who will find this content valuable, get the information they need. And maybe you are someone who's considering buying a home right now, and you want to make sure that you get it absolutely right. Well, that's why on the video coming up next, I'm going to show you our exact presentation that we give to everybody who's considering buying a home so they can do it properly. They can avoid all of the pitfalls and save massive amounts of money when they do it. Well, that video is coming up next. So I'll see you over there right now.